We are here and it is being recorded. And welcome to everybody on the Zoom audience, as well as the future people that'll be listening and watching this because we have it archived. And yeah, y'all are seeing Don in a little corner. And several people asked here where are you? Because it's so beautiful. And I said he was at his home. Well, yes, this is a little screensaver background, but pretty neat looking. It is. So Don, I like your background there. But anyway.
That's the view from Big Bend National Park up in the mountains.
Oh, well, there you go. So now you know exactly where that's from. Thank you, Don. Anyway, he's part of our Zoom team that's actually recording this. But I want to thank you all for coming. This is just a welcome. As you all know, I'm Mary Jane Berry. I'm the facilitator and the executive director for GAPS. This is probably one of the smallest groups we've had, but I think it's because of the summer. It's been over 100 degrees, and I think it's supposed to be 101 today. So some folks will be watching this. I know I have a lot of people that email me and tell me that they go on and look at the link after this meeting has occurred. So anyway, I just want to thank Don for recording it so people can see it. Door prizes, again, we do have some great door prizes. And if you don't have a ticket, be sure you get one from Day. He loves to promise things, but I don't know what he's promising this time, but they are good door prizes. So we'll keep going. All right. Our agenda for today, of course, 2:30 to 3 is our social time. We do have some cookies over here and water, and we've got our sponsors that have set up some giveaways and some information at their tables. I'll be going through the announcements and exercise, and then our speaker is Dr. Bist, but also we can call her Ash, so that's super. And she will be talking. She's got a table right here, so y'all can be sure and check it out. It's Comfort Care. And then again, we'll go right into door prizes and then tell you about the next meeting. Okay, so t-shirts. We mentioned that a minute ago on our Zoom group. And I'm going to go on and have Don, you want to go on and spotlight me on the little camera right there, and we'll go on and get that one done. So GAPS t-shirts are available, $10 donation if you would like one. And then I'd like to introduce our sponsors. Some of our sponsors have still funded us and helped us out financially, but they're not here. So Abby is one of them. And Abby is not here today, but Erin recently just had a baby. And so she is probably home taking care of the new baby. And so I want to thank her, though, for being a sponsor. Arcadia is again another sponsor. That's Amy Dukes. That's with New Placid. And we just had a great talk from them at our educational luncheon. So by all means, hopefully she will be at the next meeting. But we do have Amneal with Jill, and that's who spoke over there. So we've got Jill over there. And this is with Rytari and Argentis. So if you have any questions at all, or if you're on Rytari and you want to learn a little bit about it, by all means, talk directly to the reps because they're the ones that talk to the doctors that educate the doctors. So you're getting it from, horse's mouth. I mean, from the experts whenever you talk to them. All righty. The Grand Living, we're very, very fortunate to have the Grand Living always as a sponsor because they're the ones that do the educational meetings. So by all means, feel free to join us at the educational meetings. They also, Brittany, the woman with the dark hair you can see on the slide, does a rock steady boxing. So if you're interested in that, she has a class there too. Medtronic is one of our sponsors. It's usually always here. This is David Ott and Candace, but evidently they are actively in surgery with the doctors. So many times they're there. Supernus is another strong sponsor that is always helping us out. And they've got several of the medications, but again, he's not here today, but maybe next time. But they are going to be sponsoring the next educational luncheon that we're going to have on Friday, September the 13th. I'm not sure who the speaker is, but in your next email, I will have the sign up Zoom link. So by all means, feel free to go on and set up that Zoom link. And you can see, come to this luncheon. It's going to be a free luncheon. It'll be very, very good. September 13th, doors open at 11:30. The talk is from 12 to 1, and you're through. All righty. And let's see. Next one is going to be our caregiver meeting that's coming up on September the 12th. So for many of you guys, if you want to be sure and come to this meeting for if you're a caregiver, it's really a lot of times people think caregiver meetings is kind of like either boring or sad or whatever. We do share a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of laughter and humor in it also. So mainly just so the caregivers know that they're not alone. And I believe Dr. Bist is going to maybe try to make it at our next one to just share a few things. So for sure, if you have any questions, feel free to check it out. Our GAPS mantra, as you know, is to educate, 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 which is the purpose of the meetings, and then to exercise, exercise, exercise. We offer weekly exercise classes here in Georgetown, as well as having an exercise segment at our meetings, and then to socialize, which is why we start at 2:30 and we 2:30 so that you can meet each other and talk, but also we are now starting socials. So we have monthly socials, and I'll be talking about the next one coming up. This is just an example of some of our exercise classes that we're having. As you can see, it goes Monday, vocal and music therapy, card games, and then we have Parkinson fitness on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're very, very fortunate that the Sun City Fitness Group in Sun City, Texas, actually allow us and non-residents to come. So we're very fortunate they're going to be doing our talk for exercise and lead us in a couple exercises in a few minutes. And that's Kathy Carver back there. And so she'll be sharing with us about that. We want to thank you for that. We have art therapy just once a month, but that's really, really cool. Brain and Body is one on Wednesdays with Power for Parkinson's. And if you've never been to that class, that was also a lot of fun. So be sure you check that one out. Ping pong, we're currently on hold. We've got a few things we need to talk about and try to get that done. So we will get that one. Ping pong is on hold for right now. And then again on Thursdays, card games. Fridays is loud and clear. This is another vocal exercise, totally free, but it's done by Zoom at your home. And in my emails, I've got all the ways to sign up for all of these. There's links on that. And then on the fourth Friday, we have a thing called Brain Games, and that's going to be at the Oaks. The nice thing about Brain Games there, if you come to that class, and it is fun, you get a free lunch if you would like to stay at the Oaks. It's an independent living facility, and they offer free lunch. Then we're really fortunate here in this area, boxing for Parkinson classes. That's going to be 413 boxing as well as rock steady boxing. Now, to be sincerely honest with you, when my husband was diagnosed with Parkinson in 2007, there was only one movement disorder doctor in all of Central Texas. And then Baylor Scott and White got the second one in, and that's where we went up for that one. Interesting enough, there was no exercise classes at all for Parkinson's. It was just, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, my background is a registered nurse, but I didn't really get very much Parkinson education in my nursing studies, and then I never worked in it directly. It's amazing what in 17 years, since that's how long we've had it, and I can vouch for how much we've grown. We now have 10 movement disorder specialists just in Central Texas. And we have exercise classes weekly that you can go to as well as online. The reason is because Parkinson's has become quite it's the number 2 neurological disease, with Alzheimer being first, Parkinson being second. And the point is there's a lot of services for you. So if you ever come to these meetings, and thank you for coming to them, or if you watch it online, just know that there's a lot of opportunities for you to be able to help you on this Parkinson journey. This is just an example, some pictures. The people on the Zoom are probably able to see the pictures a little bit better. However, my crowd here, well, you can see them pretty good, I guess. You can see we do a lot of stuff from boxing to painting to exercise. We work with drumsticks, we work with balloons, all sorts of just cool stuff. This is just, again, another picture of them all. So it's just a really fun class. But this class is the art therapy. We only do this once a month. And this is the painting you're going to learn to paint. So if you've ever even thought, you might say, oh, Mary Jane, I can't paint. Well, you wouldn't believe how fabulous our art instructor is, that she'll work with you. And I guarantee you'll have something very similar to this. We do this on the 4th Tuesday of every month. It's totally free. And that's going to be August the 27th. But we are moving to the Oscar to check it out and to see how you guys like it. The Oscars actually tried, they're recruiting us. In the past, we've been meeting at the worship place, which has been a great place for us. It's not a problem. But we're going to meet at the Oscar for this one on Tuesday. So be sure you sign up. If you go to my emails, there's a link to sign up, and we would love for you to join us. It's really, really, really fun. This is the monthly social I just mentioned. It's going to be at Casa Garcia, and that's going to be in Leander. And Vicky is back here. She and her husband are going to help host it. I am actually taking Dave, and we're going to go to Galveston to the beach. So we're going to do that, and I'll be missing this one, but I'll only be gone for a couple of days. But I don't know about you guys. I just heard on the news there's some flesh-eating bacteria now in the water down there, and I'm going, oh, great. As soon as I decide to go to Galveston, it's there. Well, if I drink enough margaritas, maybe it won't bother me, huh? I don't know. Anyway, but so I'll be gone, but Vicky and her husband will be there to greet you for this monthly social. We've been averaging about 20 people to come to these things. It's just a nice time. I'm not hitting you up for money. There's no program. It's just visit with folks and just some camaraderie. So be sure you check that out. Parkinson 101. Now, again, when I told you when Dave and I say when Dave and I got diagnosed, because you know what? When one spouse is diagnosed with Parkinson's, believe me, it touches the other spouse. With the exception of maybe Don and Carol Bennett, it touches both of them. Both of them are a husband and wife with Parkinson's. So they're really, working hard. We've got 3 couples in our Parkinson support group that are both husband and wife with Parkinson's. However, we do know that the spouse, the caregiver, is equally touched, not physically as much, but was helping out a lot. So there was never a Parkinson 101. In fact, there has never been a Parkinson 101 in this area that I know of in at least 17 years since I've been involved. What we've had is symposiums, but we've never had a whole program dedicated for someone newly diagnosed with Parkinson's. And that's what this program is going to be. We have a brand new doctor in town. This is Dr. Butt. And she is the Baylor Scott and White physician that is a movement disorder specialist. So she'll be our speaker. And we're going to have panel discussion. So there's going to be a whole lot for our new folks. But even though it's targeted for a newly diagnosed, it is open to anyone who wants to learn more about the Parkinson disease. And it's going to be totally free. It's going to be for doors open at 9:30. The program begins at 10 and it's over at 2. And it's going to be just a full pack program to learn as much as you can to realize that you're not alone on this journey. So that's coming up again. It's in my emails, and I'm very fortunate. I got folks like Gail who shared it at Bell County, because I'm extending this not just for GAPS. This is for Bell County, Williamson County, Travis County, and Hayes County. So we're trying to really bring awareness to a lot of folks. So keep that in mind. If you know someone, feel free to let them know. This is another cool thing I just got to be sure and share with you. In November of this year, they're going to have the National Parkinson Conference here in Austin. And we have a great partnership. Many of you guys have been members for a while. You know that Parkinson Movement Disorder Alliance is a partner with GAPS. And we've done a lot of stuff together. They said, and I'm just sharing what they said, they actually came to Texas because of GAPS. But Georgetown doesn't have the name recognition like Austin does. So they chose to have it in Austin. They got as close to us as they could get, which is North Austin. We're going to be at the DoubleTree right off of 35 and 290. But this is a great opportunity, and it's geared to help, for those that maybe would like to get more involved with a support group. But at the same time, just like my Parkinson 101, it's open to anyone. There's going to be some great speakers there. Jimmy Choi will be there, different ones. It's going to be really, really good. So in my emails, I'm advertising this totally. On Tuesdays, GAPS we are going to be hosting the reception for all these people coming in. And so by all means, I would love for you to come to the reception, but then it's going to be a full day on Wednesday and then on Thursday, and then it's over. It's $75 right now. As of August 31st, they're going to jump up to $150 on September 1st. So if you're even halfway thinking about going, be sure you sign up now. It's going to be very, very good. The other thing I want to be sure and share with you, GAPS was contacted by the Michael J. Fox folks, that they said that they really would love for us to be involved more with them. And so one of the ways we got involved was to create a team, and I called it Bridge the Gap. So I have created a team. If anyone is going to be in Houston and would like to go to a run walk event that's going to be by that Minute Maid Park in Houston, by all means, an opportunity for fundraiser, you can do that. So I've created a team for us. And of course, it's open to Bell County. Gail, you can tell anybody if they're in Houston, if they got family members. And so that's what you saw advertised in our last email. I'm going to be sending this out in the next email. Age of Central Texas, which is a great partner to both Bell County and to me here in GAPS, and they are just fabulous. They're always offering programs, one of which they've offered all this week a caregiving program, and it's been a caregiving conference. Anyway, they would like some information on a survey. So I'll send out, it's just a survey request. It won't take too long, but you'll be getting this by email. If you get a chance to just give them a survey, it's not Parkinson related, it's more for seniors. But we kind of all fit in that category, y'all. Anyway, okay. Another fun thing, save the date. More information is coming on this. This is going to be Fish City Grill. One of our board members, Karen, over here to the right, Karen she is the lead for the fundraising committee and has been working very, very hard to get us door prizes as well as to get events like this. And so more information is coming on this, on how much it's going to be, but for sure, the save the date is October the 15th. We will be all going to Fish City Grill and they got great seafood, but of course they have other things if you want that. But anyway, it's going to be fun. Door prizes, just a great opportunity. So save the date and keep in mind for that. Reminder, next meeting is back to the fourth Thursday. You know how we always meet on the fourth Thursday of every month? Except this summer, the church bumped us to the third Thursday. But now we're going back to the fourth Thursday. So our next meeting will be September the 26th. That's roughly going to be about 6 weeks from now, because we're kind of early in August this time. So a long time. I'm going to be missing you guys. But anyway, that speaker is going to be Dr. Jared Bench. And I don't know if you've ever heard him. He is a neuropsychologist, and he's going to be talking that more than movement impacts Parkinson's disease on thinking and on feeling. His humor is really, really good. I mean, it's kind of a dry humor, but he's really funny. He's really good. Dr. Swallow and him usually pack my largest attendance, which is both times they've hit 150. So he'll be our September speaker, and that'll be again 2:30 to 4:30 on the Thursday, September 26th. All righty. Then we have exercise. As you know, we have exercise segment, and I'm going to call up Kathy. She is going to be, I thought I changed that to it says contact Beth. Actually, Kathy Carver is going to be the one that's going to be doing a lot of our contact. So if you want to come on up, we're going to actually have you start our exercise, because y'all been listening to me talk now, and we're going to let you stretch a little bit, because the next slide is going to be our speaker. So Kathy is one of the Sun City Fitness instructors and runs the whole team there. And so do you want to be up on the stage? All right.
I think I'll be up here.
Sure.
Can you see me here?
Well, they won't be able to see you on the Zoom, though. That's the only thing.
Let's go all over.
We can get you all.
Sure.
Yep. And I'm going to turn off this thing here. Let's see. I'm going to do a stop share screen. Okay. And Don, if you would like to go on and spotlight me now. Let's see if I can do this. We get Don to spotlight this. Don, if you're there, if you could spotlight this so that we can get our speaker, our presenter. Hopefully he'll be doing that soon.
All right. So I'm going to make everybody stand up. Yeah. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I can't even yell at you today. Bummer. So one of the most important muscles in your body. Does anybody know? Quads. Your quads are going to get you up and down. They're going to keep you balanced.
I can't find the spotlight.
Okay, Don, that's all right.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do, I want you to do a little bit of chair sits. So I want to keep it out of your knees, and so I want all the weight of your body and your heels. I'm gonna have you do slowly go down. You know the chair's down there, so you're gonna be okay. Stop right there. Hover, 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 hover. And if you were in fit yesterday, sorry, you're doing it again. Okay, now you're here. Lift your chest up 2 inches deeper. Hold, 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 hold. And then come up. Okay. We're going to do it 200 more times. Good with that. That's okay. I can't count that high. Okay, let's do it again. Chest is nice and tall. Weight is in the heels, and you're going to go down, 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 down. Hover, hover, hover. Stay right there. Should be shaking a little bit. Is it shaking? Okay. 2 inches deeper. Woo, come on. And stand up. Okay. Only one more. Only one more. Okay. This is a super easy exercise that you can do to strengthen your quadriceps muscles in your lower body. You can do this at home. I highly recommend having a friend with you though, just to be on the safe side. Okay, let's do it one more time. All the way down. Hover, hover, hover. A little deeper, and then all the way down. So I want you to come away from the back of the chair, and you're just going to go ahead and grab a knee. Pull that in. Get a little stretch there. That feels pretty good after what we just did. And then I want you to extend it out, either with your hand underneath your knee or not. See if you can let go. More quad strength. How you doing? All right, point and flex. That doesn't do anything, but it just keeps you occupied. Take it to the floor and shake that out. Go do the other side. Lift up. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Extend, either with support or not. Right there. This feels pretty good, doesn't it?
It does.
It'll wake you up. And then down, and then shake it out. All right. We're gonna do one more on each side because there's no such thing as just one thing. You got to do at least 2 or 5 or 12
Or 200.
or 200. We're gonna do one more on each side. Okay, nice and tall in your body. Put your core up. Leg comes up. Support first. See what you're doing there. See how it feels. Everything's lined up. Extend the leg out. Either let go or hang on. Be 8, 7, 6, 5. Let me hear it. 4, 3, 2,
1.
Good. Nice job. Take it out. All right. Good news, bad news. You got another leg. Finished with this one. Nice and tall in your body. Come up. Give me that knee pull. Warming up your hip. Extend. Either hold or not. All right. You ready? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2. All right. All right. So switch those side to side with a hip flexor. All right. So I don't have a lot of exercise, but there's one thing that I want to do with you guys that I do with a lot of my classes, not just Parkinson's and not just sit and fit folks, chest openers. And this is really, really important to do. We spend most of our day walking around, and slowly by the end of the day, we're like this and we start to collapse. So what I want you to do, look at the microphone between my knees. Hopefully that'll work. I won't lose it. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do, bring your arms up. And so as you can see, most of them are forward. I want you to bring them back. Okay? And I want you to pretend that you're against the wall and your hands and your elbows and shoulders right there. Open up the chest, pull your shoulders down. And I'm going to have you do a half circle, reach up, and then pull down, and then right there. And then all the way, and then pull down, and right there. So you don't even need to lift weights on this one. Go all the way up, and then all the way down. Now this one, you're gonna hold this one for just a little while. Stay there. Hold, hold, hold. And then down. Good deal. All right, so I want you to stretch those out a little bit. Take the back of the hand, both hands, up, reach, and then all the way down. So what you're doing, you're getting full range of motion for your shoulder. So it's the back, all the way up, open it up, and then down. Good. All the way up, all the way back, and then down. Change sides. Take it up. And extend. You feel that bicep stretch out. It feels really good. And again, reach and open. And again, one more time. That feels pretty good. Lengthen. Because we don't spend a lot of time stretching. We just, we kind of let it go. We're in too much of a hurry. So I'm going to have you do a little hip flexor stretch. This is the yoga posture. So I want you to bring your leg out, this leg to the side. And what you're going to do is you're just going to reach out and you're going to do a warrior posture in yoga. And it actually helps it stretch. And then come down, arm is up. And then arm is out. And then sweep it all the way around to the other side. And let's do the other side. Do that. This chair is a little slippery. It's hard to do chair yoga. So hang on to the side if you need to hang on to. I want you to hang on to. So you're going to reach it. Warrior. Reach it out. And then come up. Triangle pose. And then side angle. Stretch it out and then sweep. All the way up. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, deep breath. Last thing, then you're going to get rid of me, okay? I want you to lean forward in your chair. Take a deep breath, inhale up. And the arms come down from the diaphragm. Inhale up. Exhale from the diaphragm. One more time. Deep breath. Exhale. And down. All right. Nice, guys. Thanks. Come see us.
Good job. This was really good. And this is what you get to do, Sun City Fitness, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're even interested at all, be sure you check out my email. Do you need some help coming down?
No, I'm good. I'm a fitness instructor.
Okay. Well, but I gotta move that chair, bud. Sorry. Now you get to go back up.
Get good at it. So going up and down the stairs is also very important.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
This is not how you do it either. It's just like it.
I know.
There.
Okay, let's see if we can get this now back on. Okay, there we go. So we got Don, it's still having you as speaker, sir. You need to take off as speaker, but I'm gonna come on here and let's see. We'll get our share screen back.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I got to be speaker.
Well, it's always exciting, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to jump right back onto our slide. Okay, come on now. Here we go. So that was Sun City Fitness, Kathy, and we want to thank her so much again for doing that. And now it's time for our speaker. And this is, we call her Ash, or Dr. Bist. And I am going to let her come up and just say howdy to you a little bit. Let her give a little bit. You come on and she can tell you a little bit about her. And yes, oh, we already get a clap of that. There you go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her slides going. So I'll let you go on and speak to them just real quick.
Okay.
And yeah, because it'll take me just a second. Okay. And anyway, somehow Don's got himself. So we may not see you right at first, but I'll put it back on the screen for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's do a stop share. What this is just trying to get it all together. And now we'll do here. We're going to come into her slides. Let's see. I think we can do this one. But I probably need to go back, don't I?
Mhm.
There we go. Okay, and okay. Talking now, let me see if I can get.
And that's okay. I can talk over this.
Okay, I was just going to see if we can get you get your picture. I was gonna try to get your picture here, but it's not working there or there.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm okay to move.
Yeah.
And talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Well, maybe I'll say I do.
Okay. Now we're going. Okay. Well, hello everybody. How are you guys doing today? Good. Well, thank you for joining us here today. Today we're going to be talking about embracing care. But before that, I'll just do a little bit of introduction. Who am I? What do I do? And interesting things. So I'm Dr. Bist. I also go by Ash. I have been a clinician for 15 years in home health. And what I have done over years is I've helped hundreds of seniors age in place, making sure they live safely and comfortably wherever they are wanting to age, right? If it's a home, if it's independent living, we help them age in place. Now, my expertise lies in fall prevention, as fall is one of the leading cause of hospitalization. So we want to make sure all our seniors are safe. So we focus on fall prevention. We also do home safety assessments, making sure our home is ready. Because if you're aging in our house, we want to make sure it is more compatible to our needs as we age. Last but not the least, I also believe in advocating for our clients, making sure, as they age, I want to make sure they know about the challenges that they might be seeing or coming seeing and make recommendations, advocate for their needs, and hence educate them and live a better quality of life. Now, a few years back, I started my own home care agency, and I'm the owner of Comfort Care Home Care. We are located in Round Rock, and we basically focus in Georgetown area and Round Rock area. So we are not Austin focusing. We provide non-medical home care services, anywhere ranging from a few hours of services, helping with ADLs like showers, transportation, respite care, all the way to 24/7 services. If you have more questions about our services, the scope of our services, Amaya, my dear husband over there in the blue, and I will be able to help you at the end of the presentation. Now, jumping into the presentation, embracing care. Now, what we'll be covering today is we're going to be talking about ADL adventures, how to make ADLs, that is activities of daily living, a brief. And then we're also going to talk about unique challenges that our caregiver face and some tips on getting support and how to manage the stress. So let's go to the basic. Let's start from basics. What is Parkinson's? Right. So Parkinson's is a progressive neurological disorder. What that means is as Parkinson's progresses, so does the symptoms. So we don't have fixed symptoms. For instance, if somebody has congestive heart failure, so these are the symptoms. They're probably going to be this over the period of time. But with Parkinson's, the symptoms changes. And so does the role of the caregiver. They have to constantly evolve. They have to constantly make sure that they're able to adjust according to the needs of their care recipients or the care partners. So we have hundreds and millions of neurons, right, in our brain. And neurons are responsible for transmitting signals from the brain to the part of the body executing movements. Now, with Parkinson's, that ability of neurons is compromised, right? And so is the production of dopamine. And that's why Parkinson's is also called as a movement disorder. Now, going to the next slide. Let's talk about the symptoms. Now, the symptoms of Parkinson's can be divided into two. The motor symptoms, that is the movement-related symptoms, and the non-motor. There are typically four classic symptoms of Parkinson's. First is tremors. They're also called resting tremors because they're always there, right? And it can also be called a shakiness. When we try to focus on doing something, we get those shakes, right? Now, the next one is slowness. As Parkinson's progresses, the movements become slower, smaller, and it also affects the automatic movements, right? So that's the second symptom. The third one is limb stiffness or rigidity. The feeling where we feel like our feet are stuck to the ground. We're not able to move even if we want to. So that's rigidity. The fourth is gait and balance problem. And because of the last three symptoms, the risk of falls are more in a person who has Parkinson's. Now, going to the non-motor, there are cognitive functions that could be affected. Somebody, for instance, cognitive impairments, there might be fogginess, there might be hallucinations, there might be delusions. There are digestive problems. That means somebody might have difficulty with swallowing, there might be drooling, there might be problems with blood pressure, like orthostatic hypertension. What that means is somebody is laying down when they get up in the morning, when they are up to walking, they feel like they're getting dizzy. That's because their blood, the blood is cooling down, right? So that's orthostatic. That's also commonly seen in Parkinson's. So these are some of the common symptoms that we see with Parkinson's. Now, caregiving is very, very, very rewarding. We care for our love partners, we care for our families, uncle, aunts, parents, right? But caregiving can be done in two ways. I always say caregiving can be done in two ways. One is where you do everything for them, right? And the second one is when you work as a team. The care recipient and the care provider works as a team. I like the second one better. And the reasons I like the second one better is because it encourages them to participate in their own care. As Parkinson's progresses, it will be difficult for our loved one to do things fast, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they cannot participate, right? So cues is the magic word. So cues will help them encourage to participate in their own care. This also reduces frustration because now they will be, because they're participating in their own care, they will be in control of what they want to wear, right? What socks they want to select, right? So we are respecting their wishes. Last but not the least, it will also help with fall prevention because by providing cues, we are going to make sure our loved ones are following certain directions which are safe. And also, I mean, if somebody is participating in their care, it also means that the exertion on the care partners will also go down, right? So there are a lot of benefits of providing care with queuing and forming a team instead of just doing everything for our loved ones. Now, we'll be focusing on few activities of daily living. There are so many activities of daily living, for instance, showers, brushing, walking, transfers. But today we're going to focus on three major lifestyles. The first one, transfers. Now let me see if hand raises, okay? How many of us have seen a loved one who has Parkinson's or who is aging in place? They're trying to get up from the chair, but they keep falling backwards. Now, you know that this individual is strong enough because you have seen them walking around the block, right? But when they try to stand up from the chair, they go back, they fall backwards, right? Or how many times have you seen a caregiver bringing the hands to the loved one and say, let's stand up, right? So what we are going to do today is we are going to focus in some cues and strategies of doing the transfers the correct way. Okay, so first of all, one very important thing is having a chair with an armrest, right? Especially the dining room chairs. Those are the chairs without armrest. So always consider a chair with an armrest and no wheels. Okay, let me see some hands. Has anybody heard the song Head, Shoulder, Knees, and Toes? Right? Great, grandkids, yes. So we have similar song or similar thing for cues. Over here, we're going to say hand, buttock, nose, and toes. Hand, buttock, nose, and toes, something along those lines, okay? So this is has helped a lot of my clients to remember what are the cues with respect to transfers. So when I say hand, what does that mean? Where does the hand go? On the armrest, right? Buttocks. Where does the buttock go? They come all the way to the edge of the chair. So I want them to scoot forward. Where does the nose go? Over the toes. Okay, so for instance, now I know I'm not going to be on the screen. I'm just going to show you something. Now, when we sit, right, this is where we sit, right? What you're seeing is my center of gravity is right between my feet, right? Now, this is the most steady position which prevents falls, right? Whenever your center of gravity is between your base of support, that's the most steady position. Now, when somebody is trying to stand, right, and if they're going to stand like this, is my center of gravity between my base of support? No. So what happens? I fall back, right? So that's why hand, buttocks, nose, and toes. Put your hands on the armrest, right? Scoot forward, nose over your toes, and now rock 1, 2, 3, and go. And you'll see the difference. Now, I'm straight with you. I was working with a client who, let's say her name is Millie.
We
Millie
can't
is
see the
progressive.
speaker on Zoom.
So Millie has a progressive neurological disorder, right? She's on hospice, but she's also very independent. She is 99 years old, very independent. She likes to walk. She goes to the restroom. She comes with standby access. We are able to help her Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 when her daughter works. Now, I get a call from the daughter after a few days of assessment, and she said, "Hey, Dr. Bist, Millie fell," right? And I was like, "Oh no." And she said, "Now she's a 2% assist. Me and my husband are transferring. Can you come and do a reassessment?" And I was like, "Sure. Let's see what we can do and how we can help." I go there at 6 p.m. at the night, and she's watching her favorite show. And I see, God bless her heart. The daughter is trying to lift mom from here, and the son-in-law is holding the other side, trying to lift them. And I was like, "May I step in?" And then I asked Millie, "May I sit next to you?" She just nodded. She's nonverbal. And I was like, "Millie, we're trying to help you set up on the dining room, right? Dining table. For that, I would like you to get into the wheelchair." And she smiles again. And I was like, "How about, let me see your hands. Can you place them on the armrest?" And I did the same thing. Hand, buttocks, nose, and toes, the same thing. And you would be surprised. She stood up. On my count 2, she was already up. Without. So that's the magic of cues. That's the magic of teamwork. That's how much difference simple cues can make. So again, while sitting, so this is when we're standing. Sitting, we don't leave our walker. We take our walker to the chair where we are going to sit. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Make sure we go back all the way back so that we feel the chair on the behind of our knees. Reach back and then sit nice and slow in a controlled movement. So that's the whole transverse ADL. Now going to the next slide. Okay. Tips for helping your loved ones walk safely. So with Parkinson's, there's a gait abnormality, right? Abnormal gait pattern, which is rounded shoulders, right? Flexed hips, flexed knee, and the shuffling gait. This is the most common gait abnormality that we see in Parkinson's. So let me see. And now we already talked about the base of support, the center of gravity, right? So if I was walking this, my center of gravity again is between my base of support. So if somebody's pushing me, I'm able to recorrect and realign my position. But if somebody has Parkinson's, where is the center of gravity? Right in front, right? And this is the reason when you hear somebody has Parkinson's, it's difficulty stopping because they cannot stop. They're constantly chasing their center of gravity, right? And so the fall risk also increases. Now,
Thanks, you're out of the camera view. There we
okay,
go. Thank you.
there we go. Oh, of course, yes. So what cues can we provide to reduce this fall, right? This fall or this situation. So we can ask our loved one to stand up nice and tall, right? Shoulders back, chin up, and take nice and big step. Heel first, and then take toe up. So heel, toe, foot pattern, right? So look up, look tall, shoulders back, knees all the way back, and then take big steps, heel first, toe. So these are some cues that is going to help reduce falls. Now, the villain is freezing episodes, right, guys? Like they come unannounced, we are not ready for it, and they happen in the most awkward times, right? Now, I have noticed in my experience, freezing episodes happen usually when we are transitioning from one activity to the other. For instance, somebody's sitting, they're trying to stand, that's when they freeze. When they're standing, they want to walk, that's when they freeze. They are in the closet, they're trying to turn, that's when they freeze, right? So when they're trying a new movement, that's when the freezing is more often happening. So how do we overcome freezing? So the 4S strategies. First, stop what you're doing, right? Take a deep sigh. Shift. Now, shifting can be sideways, right? Or it could be forth and back. And then take a big exaggerated step and then start walking. Okay? So 4S, stop, sigh, shift, and step. So that's the first strategy. The second one is very interesting and the most commonly used strategy, music. You might have seen people, so in my career, when I was working early in my age, I remember somebody with Parkinson's, he always used to have music playing when he was walking, right? It helps them to create that rhythm. And same goes with humming, same goes with number. Now, some assistive device, particularly for Parkinson's clients, to help them prevent falls. So I don't know if you guys know, so there are regular walkers and there are stand-up walkers. Have you guys seen stand-up walkers? Yes. And they have reverse braking technology. Have you heard about that? Reverse braking? Okay. So with normal walkers, when we have to stop, we apply brakes, right, to stop. With these walkers, we actually release brakes if you want to stop. So to walk, you have to apply brakes in order to walk. And this was formulated because they had seen with people with Parkinson's, they walk too fast. So whenever they've seen like they're walking too fast, they just release brakes and they'll stop. The walker will stop. So that is reverse braking. The other thing that can help is with these walkers, sometimes they have some kind of vibration in the handles, which also send like tactile cues of vibration, creating a rhythm. And that has also helped people with Parkinson's. So that would be another thing. I have also seen Parkinson's folks also try refocusing. So once they're trying, so say they froze, they wanted to go over a threshold and step over, but they froze, right? They're not able to do that. So what I have seen this gentleman doing is rolling his shoulders, doing some punching, just taking his mind off of what he exactly wants to do. And once he's ready, he takes a big step and then starts walking again. So that could also be another thing that would really help with freezing. Marching in place a few times before stepping forward is again another strategy. So these are some of the strategies. If you have somebody you know has Parkinson's, please make sure to share with them. This could be a lifesaver and can really help prevent falls. Okay, getting in the bed. Okay, so I would like to confess, I usually like to crawl when I get into bed. Yes, I see some smiles. Okay. So, not recommended for somebody who has Parkinson's because once they are in the bed, it's very challenging to maneuver in the bed to the right position, right? So, there are sequence of cues and there are techniques that we can do to make sure in the first place we are sitting on the right spot. We are doing it correct from the very beginning. So say if I had Parkinson's, if I wanted to lay down, I would take my walker, walk as close to the bed as I can, turn around, right? Place the walker on the side. Now, I would not sit in the middle of the mattress. I would sit in the first 1/3 part because our torso is smaller, our legs are longer. So we want to make sure we're not dangling them outside the bed, right? So I would sit in the first 1/3 part, right? Lift my feet up, and then hopefully I'm at the right spot. I don't have to maneuver anymore. But I don't know, for some reason, even when we do follow all the rules, somehow, especially people with long legs, are going outside out of the bed. So what do they do, right? So there's a trick. So if I were a care provider, right, I would go to the end of the bed. I would ask my loved one to bend his knees and to bring his feet all the way to the buttocks. So he's folding his knee and he's bringing it all the way close to the buttocks. I would hold onto his ankles and ask him to scoot up. And that, my friend, does the trick. If somebody really has hard time maneuvering in the bed, I would recommend a hospital bed because in hospital bed, we can lift the legs up a little bit, head down a little bit, and then we can also cheat because the gravity can also help us while we ask them to scoot up. So hospital bed. Now, there are so many other equipment that can help with bed mobility. There is trapeze bar for those who are having difficult time getting up. There are side rails to turn. There are also poles that can help when somebody, especially I've seen people using poles when they are wheelchair bound, right? So they don't necessarily have a walker, but they need something steady to pull and stand up, right? So poles are also good. So these are some cues of getting in and out of the bed. Now, the balancing act, caregiving with a smile. Now, caregiving is very, very, very rewarding. If I ask my caregivers today, what is that one thing why are you a caregiver? They'll say, it brings me a smile on face, right? I love helping and it's rewarding. They like to help people, right? So that's okay. But being a care provider, we have to be very careful that we are balancing our personal needs and we are not overdoing it, right? So finding that right balance is very important in order to be a very efficient caregiver. Now, these are some statistics. Now, according to CDC, 1 in 3 caregivers are being providing 20 plus hours of care to the loved ones, right? And half of them have been doing it for 2 or more years, right? And about 36% have reported getting insufficient sleep. And again, there are a couple of recommendations which we can make if somebody's getting insufficient sleep. We can either have them move into different beds or maybe even different rooms if need be. So getting insufficient sleep. Now, 40% of the caregivers reported they have 2 or more chronic diseases. Probably due to potentially be the reason that they are not paying enough attention to their well-being, right? And over half of the caregiver reported that if they were feeling better, they would be able to provide better care to the loved ones, right? So these are some of the statistics from CDC. Now, these 2 quotes, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. How true is that? right? You have to be compassionate. You have to be well enough to take care of your loved ones. So you need that break. You need that balance. You have to give time to yourself, right? The next one says, when you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. What I take is be assertive about your needs. Don't push your appointments away. Even if it is a 5-minute break, it's a break. Make sure you have those regular breaks in order to be healthy and be able to take care of your loved ones. Because at the end of the day, your care recipient is relying on you guys, right? They're relying on you guys, and you can only do it if you are taking care of yourself. Now, what are some tips for caregiving? Plan, communicate, and form a team. Now, caregiving is more, it's challenging. Caregiving is challenging, right? Working 20 hours or 40 hours a week without a break, Monday to Sunday. It is. And at one point, it does catch up with us. Like, you feel the exhaustion, you feel the tiredness, right? So I always say, plan and prepare. Plan, what are we going to be needing in maybe next 30 days, or maybe in a year, or maybe in a 2 year, right? So look about your finances, right? Have a plan in place. Can you hire somebody to give you respite, right? Can I have my neighbors friendly enough? Maybe I can ask them to come to, like, maybe an hour or so once a week while I go out and, gather my thoughts, or just do something that I love so that I can provide care for my loved one for the entire week. The next one is healthcare documents. Do I have the healthcare documents in place? Do I have advanced directives in place? Do I know what the wishes of my loved one is in case there's an emergency, right? And I know these are hard talk to have, but I think at least getting started and learning about their wishes, respecting their wishes is also very important. So having the healthcare documents, having the medical power of attorney. I have 4 sons, right? Somebody has 4 sons. Who is going to step in when something happens, right? Are we making it very clear for them? That way they don't have to do guessing work later, right? This one is very important. Home safety assessment. As we are deciding to age in place, is our house ready for us? Do we have things in place? Do we have a shower bench, right? Is the height of the bed okay, right? Are we using the right walker? So is there a ramp that needs to be built? So preparing your house for aging in place is also very important. Now, I would highly recommend you, I know there are services out there that provide home safety assessment, but I always recommend my clients have it done by some professional, like a clinician. If it could be a PT or an OT, that they would be the person who would do a functional assessment on your partner's limitation, like how much can they actually participate, and build a home safety assessment particular to those needs. They won't just go from a checklist. They would actually do a functional assessment, make sure you're able to do this, not do this. So they do a lot more deeper home safety assessment than the regular folks. The second one is communicate. Stay connected. Stay connected to the community. Stay connected with the support group. Stay connected with the family, the friends, loved ones. Let them know what's happening. Share with them if it gets too difficult for you. Let them know if you need some break, right? Multidisciplinary approach. So I always tell all my clients, even though we are non-medical, we provide caregiving services, but I like to know what's happening with my clients, right? There are a few things that we as non-medical home care providers can do to incorporate in our care plan that can help improve the quality of their loved ones. For instance, if they have a home exercise program that's being given by a home health physical therapist, I would like my caregivers to know, and I would like to train them because the physical therapist is probably going to be there for 2 times a week for 45 minutes or 30, 45 minutes. But what happens the rest of the day, right? And our caregivers can take care of that, right? So I want to know if there are new exercises that are being recommended. I want to know if there is a new diagnosis. For instance, we had a client who has a new diagnosis of congestive heart failure. Now, with congestive heart failure, what it means is it increases weight, and we have to be very watchful about the weight. We don't want that fluid filling up, right? For that, we need to take their weights every day. So there we go, right? We have one more class to add for our care plan. Take weights every day. If it just goes more over 3 pounds, let the physician know right away because there's something going on, right? So make sure all your team members are involved in the care so that they know everybody's on the same page and they can provide a better quality of care. Practice self-care. While you are providing care for your loved ones and communicating about their needs to their physician, their physical therapist, their home health team, the hospice team, don't forget about yourself. If there is something bothering you, if you have that isolation, if you think you're staying tired, make sure you let your physician, your PCP know about that, right? So communicate about your needs to your PCP when you feel low on energy. Last but not the least, communicate with your loved ones. It's easier to face a challenge when you are a team, right? So if you see there has been an increase in level of caregiving, let them know, right? Let them know the challenges that you potentially as a team you're going to be facing in near future, right? So you guys are more prepared. Okay, now going to the third one, identify your care resource. And I cannot encourage enough, especially with progressive neurological disorder, be on top of your team, right? Now, what does team comprise of? Team comprise of home health, home care. If you are planning to downsize and go to a community, shopping about the communities. So that's your team, that's your resources. So learn about your resources. Also, I say, let's not be reactive, be proactive. A lot of our clients that sign up with us are not even currently enrolled in the services with us. So we are not actively providing them home care, but they are enrolled with us for the peace of mind that when their loved one needs care, they already have the paperwork taken care of. They already have the functional assessment taken care of. And when they need, we are able to help them without having. And also shop around. You don't have to accept what is given to you. I mean, there are so many home care agencies, home health agencies with different visions, different goals. Talk to them. Ask them, what is your vision? How are you better than the other one? Right? What is you do differently that I can get from the other home care agency? Do you guys have clinicians on your team, right? If there is a change in my dad's or my mom's condition, can I talk to somebody, an expert in your team who can help me direct what are the next steps that I need to take? So get those talks going. Now, in that blue folder, if you don't already have it, it's there on the table. And in that blue folder, I have prepared a list of questions that you can use to interview your home care agencies. And if somebody's interested in having a list for hospice or home health, I have that as well. Just let me know and I'll email it to you, right? So find your teammates. Be proactive and not reactive. I have this beautiful couple who I just met on passing, and they said, Ash, do you know what we did last month? And I was like, what? It's like, I'm very, very, not that they're needing care, but they're considering about future. So they went to one of the independent living and just spent 1 month in the independent living just to make sure how the food was, how the things was, did they like it, to get a feel of how an independent living, and they loved it. So now they know exactly when they downsize or they retire, like where they want to go. who they connect. So make a folder, make a list, make a roster of the things, the agencies that you think would be good, and let's get this talks going. Right. Okay. Now, are you stressed? Well, I think everybody is stressed at some point, right? But the important question is, are we able to recuperate? Are we able to get back to normal where we feel okay, energized, and work, right? Stress in itself, if it is manageable, I say it's okay, right? Because we are able to manage, we are able to get up fresh the next day. What I really worry about is the burnout, right? Now, what is a burnout? Now, burnout is a state where it's a state of exhaustion where mental, physical, and emotionally we are drained, exhausted, and which may affect person's attitude, right, from positive and caring to negative and unconcerned. That's where most of our clients call us when they are in this burnout state where they don't understand, like they just need a break, right? I would like them to reach us a little bit earlier so that they don't have to go through that stress. But also, a lot of people don't know what are the symptoms. Nobody talks about it, right? Nobody talks about caregiver burnout. So nobody knows what the symptoms are, right? So here are some of the symptoms. Isolation, right? Increasing isolation. Feeling of, say, somebody is thinking in their mind, nobody in this world care about us, right? They don't know what is exactly happening with us, that kind of feeling. Or resentment towards our family or family members or friends because they're not able to step in and help, right? It could be rapid and shallow breathing. It could be tiredness, which is not resolving with sleep, right? It could be fogginess, not able to concentrate, focus. It could be depression, mood swings. So these are some of the symptoms of being stressed. Now, the 5 stress busting tips. Oh, now, before I forget, in the blue folder, there is a stress inventory, which will ask a couple of questions to you and will also help you understand if you fall in that category where you are really burned out or stressed. So great information in there. Now, 5 stress busting tips. Slow breaths, right? Doesn't take a long time, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening, and slow start, right? So just in through your nose, out through your mouth, right? In through your nose, out through your mouth, slow, deep, slow breaths. Now, the second one, has anybody heard about this? Belly breathing. Yes, I see a nod over there. Yes, okay. So we are going to actually practice this. Are you guys ready? Yes, okay. So everybody's sitting comfortably, so that's good. Now we're going to put one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. Okay, so one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. And what I want you to do is when you breathe in, I don't want your chest to move up and down. I want it to be nice and steady, but I want you to feel your belly moving. Now, it's going to be challenging, I'll tell you. It took me a few tries before I really perfectioned it. So, in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. So, without moving your chest, just it's a very subtle movement. It's a very subtle movement. So, let's try it again. In through your nose, and out through your mouth. One more time, without the chest moving. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, how many of you got it? Did you feel the belly moving? Good, and the chest was not moving? Good, 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 good. Okay, now, another exercise is saying, it is also called 4-7-8 breathing. Has anybody heard about that? Yes, okay. So this is same as belly breathing, but this is with counting. So while we breathe in, we're going to count 1 to 4. When we hold, we are going to count 1 to 7. And then when we are going to exhale, we're going to count 1 to 8, but we're going to make sure in that 8 count, we are going to truly exhale like no air in your lungs. Okay? Are you guys ready? Okay? All right. So one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, right under your ribs. Okay. Now, I really like it when I close my eyes. If you want to close your eyes, that's fine. If you want to keep them open, that's fine too. So in through your nose, hold, and exhale. Again, in through your nose without your chest raising. Hold, and exhale. One last time. In through your nose. Hold. And exhale. Okay, open your eyes.
I'm going to sleep.
Oh, that will do to you. It will really relax you. So yes. But did you find it? Did you feel the difference? Did you guys feel the difference? Yes. Yes. So it really works. Okay. Now, while we are taking care for our loved ones, make sure to take 5 minutes for you, for yourself. If need be, make arrangements in the schedule of your loved ones. If he's getting up at 6 or she's getting at 6, wake up at 5:55. 5 minutes is all we need, right? 5 minutes where we are not caregiving, where we are taking out time for us, but in doing something that you or your loved one loves about. So make time for yourself, balance your day with things you find relaxing, enriching, and comforting. Put on the brakes, right? Whenever you are in a situation which is very overwhelming, exhausting, breathe. B as in breathe, right? So take deep breaths, calm down, or as for relax the muscles, the tense muscles. If you need to stay in the situation or stay away from the situation, make a decision, whichever works for you. Know what the problem is. If you're feeling tired the next day, see what's going on. Did we get 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep? If not, then what can we do? Right? Can we sleep in different rooms? Right? Or maybe can we have a respite for one day where you can just focus on yourself? Can you have a break? Can your great grand can maybe come in and just be there if granddad needs any help? Right? So what are the options? What is the problem? And then what is the option? Last but not the least, stay cool. I know it's hard in some situations, but stay cool, stay rational, composed, so that you can make the best decision you can. Again, in that blue folder, I keep talking about the blue folder. The blue folder, it has an action plan. The action plan has caregiver stress inventory. It will tell you if you're stressed or not. And then it also has 3 things that you might want to implement. So what is the first thing you're going to implement after you go home, right? In next 30 days, what would you like to implement, right? And next 90 days, that's a long-term goal. What is the thing that you would like to implement? Also, there's a section for what is that one thing you want to learn about, right? So that's your action plan. Make sure you finish it. Make sure you go over. The folder also have some local resources in that. So yeah, that's the end of the talk. And does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. All right. So much. Thank you for coming and joining us here. Thank you. Ah, hi. Cute, isn't it?
Well, thank you, thank you. I was catching some of that. I was taking care of some business back there, but thank you. And we got you on right here. And so let me come up and change this out. If you want to, after the meeting, y'all can come over and get some information from her because she is going to be here. And there we go. Okay. So that was our official date. Door prizes.